Alright, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be going over the Chapter 9 test so you guys can see what the correct answers were. Number 1 says, 64 is an example of a blank square because 8 squared is 64. So remember, anytime that we have a number that you can take the square root of and it gives you an integer, then that is called a perfect square. So 1 is C. Number 2, in the expression the square root of 25, which is inside that radical symbol, we call the radicand. So that is D. The little symbol that we use for square root is called the radical. So that is A. And the last one, to solve the square root of, to solve the equation x squared equals 81, you would take the square root of both sides, and square root is B. So our matching part, we should have C, D, A, B. Those were each worth 1 point on the test. Question number 5 said all the square roots of the number 0.16 are. And so what it's asking you is what times itself can give you 0.16. And so your answers are going to be 0.4 or negative 0.4. And so your answers could be A and B if you did it that way. Most people just circled C, but it's going to be both positive 0.4 and negative 0.4. That's how you do 5. Number 6, to simplify the square root of 80, you would have to find the largest perfect square that goes into 80. And I believe it is going to be square root of 16 times the square root of 5. The square root of 16 is 4. So the simplified answer is 4 root 5, so that would be letter C. That was worth 2 points. Number 7, we've got negative 3x squared is equal to 27. So the first thing you would do is divide by negative 3 on both sides. That would give you x squared is equal to negative 9. Now, you would ask yourself, what times itself gives you negative 9? Let's say you take the square root of both sides. You would get x is equal to positive, negative, but we cannot take the square root of a negative 9 because there's not two things that you can multiply by themselves to get negative 9. For instance, if you thought it was negative 3, negative 3 times negative 3 would give you positive 9. And positive 3 times positive 3 would give you positive 9. So there is no way to take the square root of a negative number. So this is a no solution. Should have been letter D, and that one was worth 2 points. 8 and 9, we're going to use the quadratic equation, and I'll just write it out here. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, whole thing over 2a. And we can pull out our a is 1, our b is 5, and our c is negative 14. So we're going to have negative b, so that's negative 5, plus or minus the square root of 5 squared is 25, minus 4 times a times c. Whole thing over 2a, which in this case is just going to be 2. So now I'm going to look here at the radicand. Look in here. I've got negative 4 times 1 times negative 14. So that's going to give me positive 56 plus 25 is going to give me 81. So I've got negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 81 over 2. That would be negative 5 plus or minus 9 over 2. Now we would split it. We would have negative 5 plus 9 over 2, negative 5 minus 9 over 2. So a negative 5 plus 9 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14 divided by 2. I get negative 7. 2, negative 7. And that one would be worth 4 points if you got 100% correct. Let me make some room here to do number 9. Number 9. Let me just rewrite that quadratic one more time. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, whole thing over 2a. And before we can pull out our a, b, and c, we're going to have to get this to equal 0. So we're going to minus 1 from both sides. That's going to give us 8x squared minus 4x minus 1 equals 0. Now I can pull out my a, which is 8, my b, which is negative 4, and my c, which is negative 1. So negative b would be positive 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared is going to be positive 16, minus 4 times 8 times negative 1. Whole thing over 2a, which is going to be 16. Now, if we go into the radicand, in here, we've got negative 4 times 8 times negative 1. So I know that because I've got a negative times a negative, it's going to be positive. So I'm going to have 4 times 8 is 32 plus 16. I've got 48. So this is going to be 4 plus or minus the square root of 48 over 16. And then I would split this, and I would do 4 plus root 48 over 16. And I would do 4 minus root 48 over 16 to get my two answers. So, on the top one, 4 plus square root 48 equals, divided by 16, I get 0.68. The bottom one, 4 minus square root 48 equals, divided by 16, I get negative 0.18. And those are my two answers for number 9 using the quadratic. Those were 4 points each. So for 13, to solve 13, I'm going to need to get rid of this minus 5. And so I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to add 5. And I'm going to do that to both sides. That gives me x squared is equal to 49. Now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. That's going to give me x is equal to positive and negative 7. If you got half off, it's because you were missing that part. 14. Now, the easiest way to get rid of a fraction when it's connected to a variable here is multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So if you multiply 2 on both sides, so now you have half of 2, which is 1, or just y squared. Those undo each other. Equals 8 times 2, which is 16. Now we take the square root of both sides. That's going to give us y is equal to positive negative 4. And that's how you do 13 and 14. Alright, number 15. I'm going to start out, and remember when we solve these, we do the order of operations backwards. So we're looking for addition or subtraction first, and here we can identify that we have addition. So how do we get rid of plus 9? We are going to minus 9 from both sides. So we get 3h squared is equal to 84 minus 9. That gives us 75. And now we're going to divide by 3. That gives us h squared is equal to 25. And then the last step is to take the square root of both sides. That would give us h is equal to positive and negative 5. Extra credit. So on extra credit, I'm going to first start with just this side. And what I did was I tried to find the largest perfect square that went into 153. And I got 9. So I got 8 times root 9 times the square root of 17. And square root of 9 is 3, so that would be 8 times 3 times root 17. So this right here is going to be 24 root 17. Now, at this point I went over to the 196. 196 is actually a perfect square. So if you do the square root of 196, I got 14. So then this would become 24 times 14 times root 17. 14 times 24 gives me 336 square root 17. And that is the simplified version for number 1. Number 2, 98. I had to find the largest perfect square, and I got 49, so this is going to be 2/3 times the square root of 49 and root 2. Square root of 49 is 7, so I'd have 2/3 times 7 root 2. And 2/3 times 7 is going to be 14/3 root 2, or if you wanted to write it as a mixed number, that would be 4 2/3 root 2. So either one of these I would accept. Square root 81 over root 5 times root 10. So the square root of 81 is 9. Root 5 times root 10 over 1. And so we can simplify this by turning that root 5 into root 5 times root 2. Now this allows us to cross cancel, and we're left with 9 root 2 as our simplified version. That's it. That's the explanation for the test. If you have any questions, you can email me.